Let's start with slates, which is really the first thing that you do when you come into an audition. And a slate is so that our clients, thank you, so our clients know who you are and know anything about you that if we need to, if we have to ask specific questions, like if you have any allergies to dogs, if you're going to be working with the dogs, or fears of dogs, that kind of stuff. That's what we use the first time. That's when the clients actually get to look at you and see you and hear who you are and stuff. One of the questions that drives me crazy is when people ask, do I need to slate? It's like, yeah, because otherwise we put you on anonymously and let my clients guess who you are. I don't know why. Yes, so yes, you do slate. And in a normal slate, you want to just give us just put your best foot forward. It's when you're shaking hands with somebody that you're trying to make a good impression on, meeting somebody for the first time without the handshake. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay.
Now, a lot of places will tell you to slate your name and then your agent and then tell us what you're reading for, and I think it's kind of useless.
Well, in LA we don't do that.
In LA we really don't do that. I know what I've called you in for. I know who you are. I'm just introducing, and the clients know what you're reading for, generally. So your name is all you really need. And it's just that simple. And the reason I bring that up is because all the rest of that information will certainly take you out of your work. So when you slate, it shouldn't derail you. It should bring you into your work. We'll talk about this in more detail, because a lot of people have a very cute and wonderful and rehearsed slate, and then they can't ever recover.
And really all it is an introduction, and we don't want it to take you out of your work. As actors, we want you, kind of when you walk in the room, if you're reading for something specific, sometimes it's an interview audition, and we're going to go into those a lot, but if you're reading for something specific, it's going to take you out of your work, because you should have already been preparing to read for that role, in that role. So your slate shouldn't take you out of that. And because of that, sometimes, and I've got many, many years of experience of people saying, well, you should always just slate with a nice, happy, friendly slate. How many people hear that, I'm going to say that that's not necessarily true all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, most of the time you are, especially for commercials, you're going to read for something that's pretty much like you. So you want to slate like you, you want to slate the way you are. However, every now and then you get to go in and audition for something that's a little bit different than who you are. You get to be the bad guy, or you get to be the mean lady, or you get to be the uptight science teacher, or whatever, and it's not who you are. In those cases, I generally say that it's best to slate with the essence of your character. Not totally in character, but kind of with the essence of that. All right? So maybe if you're supposed to be the woman that's kind of a mean lady, you want to just be a little bit aloof in your slate, as opposed to being this really friendly slate. And I can tell you real quickly 2 examples, and I'll make them real short, and then we'll kind of get onto this. But there was a time when we were doing a job for a car company, and they wanted to be known as kind of the relaxed, cool, hip car company. And they were going against a very uptight, high-end car company. We'll just say those.
That's very well done.
Thank you.
That's really nicely skirted around that issue.
Anyhow, we had women that were coming in, and all day long we were bringing in these beautiful women, these sexy, long hair, just gorgeous women that were very kind of free and wonderful. And they would slate their name, and they would be kind of, they were nice. They were doing a nice job. But the women that were supposed to be the uptight, Beverly Hills, this was back in, a while ago.
Nothing wrong with Beverly Hills.
Nothing wrong with
Beverly Hills.
But the type I'm talking about, with the hair pulled back and the big earrings and driving the expensive car kind of thing. And they wanted them all to be really uptight. And women were coming in, and they were slating and being very friendly. And, hi, I'm Megan Foley, nice to meet you, And all of a sudden, my clients were like, where are all the mean women, And I'm like, if you watch a little further in, you'll see that the mean women are there. They're just actresses, and they're showing you, that they're not really like that all the time. And the client was like, I hate them all. I don't like any of them. And we're like, oh my gosh, seriously? So next day we come in and we tell all the women, you've got to be really uptight in your slate. And seriously, it was an uphill battle, because, nobody wants to look like they're this uptight person. But it doesn't matter, because my clients are looking for it. You know, whatever it is. We're going to talk about that when we do wardrobe stuff too, but they kind of talk about, they want what it is. So the next day we have people come in and slate. You have to slate a little bit uptight. And some people we'd have to make them slate like 3 and 4 times to get it right.
There's one woman, we know her, but she was very resistant to slating in a uptight manner. And it took me like 7 takes. I just kept erasing the take, no, do it again. And she got really mad at me. And finally I got the take that I wanted, and that was just a slate. And she was on a veil.
The importance of it was, she was on a veil for the job, meaning she, the next day when the clients look at the tape, this is back in the days of tape, when they looked at it, they were like, oh, these are much better. So it was very clear to me suddenly that people were not looking at the entire audition. They were looking at the slate to see if they liked it, and if they liked it and it was what they were looking for, then if it was it for them, then they would watch the rest.